My name is Abe Freetanzer here with Awards Radar, and I'm thrilled to be talking with Sam Jaeger, who plays Mark Twello on The Handmaid's Tale. I'm curious, were you a fan of this show before you joined? Had you seen it?
I had seen it, and when the opportunity came up to be a part of it, and it was such a small part in season 2 that I realized, it's rare that you get to be a part of a project that is this beloved already. And even in season 2, it was, it just, right out of the gate had so much to say and said it so well that I thought I'd like to be a part of this for in any way I can.
Of course. And what is it like to join a show that's already established and have people have their relationships, especially when you're in this sort of tangential role where you don't really get to interact with most of the cast?
Right. Well, that's kind of my bread and butter. I come into projects that are already well oiled, and I'm pretty comfortable in my own skin, so I don't need to make friends. That sounds sinister or whatever, but I'm pretty comfortable just kind of coming in and meeting people, and I like figuring out the dynamics of a show. And a lot of times they can be pretty contentious, and there's none of that on this show, which is such a breath of fresh air. Even working with hearing from drivers and craft service people and actors and crew, how they all get along. Man, you just want to bottle that up and take it with you, because it's the right way to work.
Yeah. How much do you know about what's going to happen when you start off a season?
Well, not much. I more so this season. The more I'm involved, the more I'm interested in and privy to information. But at the same time, I like to be delighted by it. I like to be surprised by it, like the fans. So, reading episode 10 this season was kind of like, it's fun to still read something that you're a part of and read it as a fan. That I was just as shocked and excited for where this storyline was going, and excited to shoot it and excited to share it with all the people who care so much about this show. So it's rare to say that after 4 seasons of a show. Normally people are starting to say, yeah, we're 4 seasons in, and this relationship, we've had, we have these people sleep together with those people. Maybe we'll just have these people sleep together with those people. And, that we're still care as much as we do about making a great show even better. That's a testament to the people up top, to Bruce and to Lizzie.
Do you think the show has an increased relevance now because of what's going on in the country and in the world?
Yes, I do. Yeah, there are aspects of it. I think it's really struck a chord with people, because it isn't exactly our world, but we can glean from it. We want to watch stories like this to kind of as a parable, to kind of remind us how to live our lives, and what is okay and what's moral. And so I think people can still enjoy it, that it is not too relevant in every aspect. But there's a lot of things at stake. I know we have a responsibility as storytellers to show as many sides of this as we can, without belittling people or what I love about the show is that there's nuance to everything. That it's not here's the good guys and here's the bad guys. There is good. We are capable of both, each individual, and I think this show, especially that season 4, shows that better than any season before, especially with June's character.
Great. Well, let's talk about Mark for a minute.
Yeah.
When we first met him, he seemed sort of like a secret agent. And as we get to know more, it seems like he probably is more of a low-level bureaucrat, who has to deal with the mundane aspects of, international diplomatic relations. How do you see him?
Yeah, I think very much that way. He's trying to navigate these very dynamic personalities this year, and it's becoming harder and harder. I think he underestimated just how many ways each of these people, Serena, Fred, and even June, are going to try to navigate these waters and manipulate him for their own aim. And, he's caught in the middle because he is, like you said, a diplomat. So he's trying to do right, but he's also, he has an agenda. It's not until the very end of the season that we get to see some of that veneer that he's able to, to put on, start to wear off a little bit, which I think will be really rewarding for people to see, because he's pretty stoic. It's always interesting. It's one of the most, I don't want to say dry characters, but on the surface, seemingly dry, straightforward characters that I've played. But if you just play that he has no background, that comes across as pretty boring. But when in reality, we just get to see glimpses of him trying to, in the back of his mind, figure out what's best for the cause in dealing with this very troubling individual in front of me.
Well, I mean, you've played a lot of other characters who have deep family roots, some of them positive, like on Parenthood, and some I would call much less positive, like The Politician or Why Women Kill, when your characters are hardly model men in society. They're probably not as bad as the men in Gilead, but they're somewhere up there.
They're pretty bad. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. So is there a background to Mark? Is that something that we'll see at some point, or something that you have created, even if it doesn't come across on screen?
Yeah, I think we see more by the end of season 4. We really understand Mark better than we have before. We get to see where his allegiances are, and we get to see his humanity for I think, kind of the first time. Like I said, he has to make some decisions that are not easy. That he has to navigate and harm individuals for the greater good, and that's really it's fun to do. It's fun to play and fun to see as an audience member where that storyline goes at the end of the season.
I'm looking forward to it. I think what we've seen most of him is his relationship with Serena, which, even though he's not so emotive, I think it is bordering on inappropriate in terms of he seems to have a real soft spot for her. And I'm curious how that sort of plays out, and how that's your acting dynamic with Yvonne.
Yeah, well, I mean, I love Yvonne. She is just such a bright, positive energy, and cares so much about our show, and it's easy to work with her. She's optimistic. And yet she's still so dynamic. She still has a lot of the same strength that Serena has, but it's thankfully a strength, and it is used for good. I think I enjoy doing the scenes together, because it's kind of like the Victorian era drama, and that they're two characters in this show that none of their relationship is ever spoken. And even at the end of season 4, there's no real emotive moments between them, but we understand the dynamic very well and how complex it is. And boy, yeah, she's a fascinating character, and I think it's not until this season that he realizes just how complex and how dark her past is.
You've done a great job of teasing a lot of character development and things that we obviously won't see for a while, but it's great to know that getting to know more of Mark is something to look forward to in season 4.
Well, I'm glad. Thanks.
So I really appreciate you speaking with me today, and best of luck with the rest of the show.
Thanks, Abe. I appreciate it.